Hello, and welcome to the walkthrough of my game, Hodge-Podge. In the game, you are controlling the young boy. He's a deep-thinking character who is going to be going on an adventure. The first thing that the user has to do is cross the road, which can be accomplished by tapping where you would like the character to walk along to. The game occasionally gives the user some brief guidance as to where to go next or what to do. The game is meant to be very interactive and provide the user with a lot of visual feedback. The game has a storyline which is introduced to the user and will be continued at different points within the game. At the moment there are no sounds or sound effects, but these will be added in at a later time. I also have plans to have another screen where the character is introduced before the player is taken to where the walkthrough began. The game is able to save the player's progress, and when they next return to the app, they can start off exactly from where they finished playing the game. At different points in the adventure, the user will be given certain choices to make that will impact the outcome of the game and where they will go next. To move the platforms from side to side, the user simply has to tilt left and right. To avoid falling away into the clouds, the user has to avoid the birds on the way. When a bird knocks into the platform, you begin to see the platform crack away and diminish step by step. The bird then spirals out into the sky. Once the platform reaches the ground, you are then able to move around freely. I'll just tap on the cave to go and have a look. In order to light the cave, you have to complete a brief jigsaw puzzle. The puzzle makes very good use of the touchscreen, and I have added a magnetic clipping effect where the puzzle piece snaps into place whenever you place two matching pieces close together. When you complete the jigsaw, it shrinks down and the cave lights up. You are then able to continue through into the cave. Once you are inside the cave, you see the spiders dangling down from their webs. You have to avoid them in order to make a safe passage through the cave. In this part of the cave, there are two different routes you could follow. I'll choose this one on the right. I think I've walked into a trap. This time I'll choose the route straight ahead. There are rats everywhere in this part of the cave. The player should try and avoid them. This is an anagram. The player must first work out what the word is, then they should rearrange the letters. Once the anagram has been completed, a lift will be on its way to collect the boy. You can see that the game makes use of a lot of animations, such as the fluttering fire in the torches and the lift. In this scene, the player has to work out where to stand in order to continue. The player has to memorise the objects which are moving along the conveyor belt. They also have to remember the sequence in which the objects appeared. At this point, the user selects the sequence in which they think the objects appeared. If they are wrong, then they fall through the trapdoor. This time, I'll select the correct sequence in which the objects appeared. You can see that more objects are on the way. This next sequence will be even harder to memorise. This time, I'll select the correct sequence in which the last three objects appeared. Now this is the hardest sequence to memorise. I shall choose the correct answer for which objects appeared second, fourth and sixth in the sequence. A hot air balloon is here to pick up the boy. The user may tap on the balloon to get in. This is where the demo ends, as I am still making the rest of the game. Back at this point in the game, if the user had selected a different door, the adventure would have been different. Here you can see the boy is falling uncontrollably downwards. The user is still able to interact by tilting the device to move the boy from side to side. You should try and land on the pillows to ensure a safe and soft landing for the boy. There is a garden area where the character is able to move around freely. I shall tap near the gate to go and check it out. You must try and remember the pattern displayed and then repeat it later. When you have repeated the pattern correctly, the gate opens to allow you to move on. I'm still working on this part of the game, so this is it for now. Thanks for your time in listening to this walkthrough.